Let's discuss about the structure of amoeba. So we have heard about amoeba. What is an amoeba? Amoeba is a type of cell, or we can say it is a unicellular organism. So which have the capability to change its shape. So we cannot say that amoeba have a particular shape and also it don't have a symmetry. So primarily by extending and retracting the pseudopodia. So pseudopodia is a false appendages. So whenever they are extending and also they do have the capacity to retract the size of the pseudopodia. So that is called amoeba. So amoeba is found in every major lineage of eukaryotic organism. Why it is called a eukaryotic organism? So they do have a particular cell membrane and a nuclear bounded membrane. So an amoeba is a single-celled eukaryotic organism with a no discernible structure that travels using pseudopodia only. So the food intake also will be done with the help of this pseudopodia. So pseudopodia are also known as pseudopods. So they are having a transient cell extension and that literally means false feet or false appendages. When seen under a microscope, an amoeba look like colorless, translucent, a drop of a jelly-like structure. Why? Because it doesn't have any distinct body shape. Because it is constantly alters its shape by creating the pseudopodia or moving with the pseudopodia. As a result, they don't have a precise shape, they don't have a precise front, and also they don't have a posterior ends. The dorsal and ventral surfaces cannot be described because they don't have any particular structure. Furthermore, the shape of an amoeba can alter and its body cannot be separated into two identical halves, which means we cannot say that it is symmetrical because continuously and constantly they are changing the shape. Asymmetry is the term we are using for this condition. We will discuss about the mode of nutrition in amoeba. So what is an amoeba? Amoeba is a type of a protozoa that can be found in the fresh water. So how it will be feeding? It feeds on water-borne tiny plants and animals. So such kind of nutrition that done by the amoeba is called holozoic nutrition. Phagocytosis is the method through which an amoeba obtain the nourishment. So amoeba take its nutrition through a process called phagocytosis or engulfing the entire organism, or they will swallow the entire organism. The mode through which an amoeba engulfs the nutrition is known as holozoic nutrition. So we can say that phagocytosis is a part of a holozoic nutrition. So it will be done with the help of 5 different stages. So these stages are ingestion, digestion, egestion, absorption and assimilation. So amoeba don't have any specialized organ for the nutrition, but they will utilize these digestive parts by cytosis. So the entire process is carried out through the body surfaces with the assistance of the pseudopodia. So we will see how the nutrition will be done by amoeba. The first step is called ingestion. The process of taking the food into the body either by swallowing or absorbing it is called ingestion. So here the amoeba oozes out the pseudopodia, which means they will produce the pseudopodia to encircle the food. Then directly they will engulf into the food vacuole. Then it will go to the cytoplasm. So this process is known as phagocytosis. So it is called ingestion. It is the first step of nutrition in the amoeba. The second step is called digestion. Digestion is nothing but the process of breaking the insoluble and enormous large food molecule, and we are splitting into soluble and minute molecules. That is called digestion. So here the amoeba will digest inside the cell, which means intracellular, and also the food is stored in the food vacuole or the stomach vacuole. So that will be made up of the cell membrane and a tiny amount of cytoplasm. So here the cytoplasmic motion or the movement inside the cytoplasm will be deeper and deeper. So later they will combine with the lysosome, which contain the enzyme. So they will digest the components. Amylase, proteinases are the two enzymes that have been discovered which will be helping to digest the food material. Sugars, cellulose and other proteins can be digested by the amoeba very easily. Next process is called absorption. So in the third step called absorption, the nutrients from the digested food materials will be absorbed by the cell cytoplasm and also by keeping these undigested particles by the cytoplasm itself. So this process is called a diffusion, and excess amount or unwanted amount of food is stored as a form of glycogen and a lipid. So whenever they do have the nutrient deficiency, they will be utilizing this glycogen and a lipid as a stored food material. Next process is called assimilation. Assimilation is the process of obtaining the energy from the absorbed food molecule. That is called assimilation. In amoeba, the absorbed food molecules are utilized for producing the energy required to hold the different life processes within the cell. So by this assimilation process, they will be utilizing the energy for the various life process activities. The final steps of the nutrition is called egestion. So here the process of excretion of undigested food material, that is called egestion. So in amoeba, the process will be administered by rupturing or breaking the cell wall so that they can take out the undigested food material from the body. So this process is called exocytosis. Exocytosis means a removal from the cell. So the undigested materials are transferred to the back of the amoeba and expelled as a food pellet and through a transient opening that will be produced at any point on their plasma membrane. Amoeba will be having a heterotrophic feeding mechanism. The food may be taken in by the entire surface of the amoeba because it is a simple single-celled organism, and also a rudimentary form of digestion that occurs in food vacuoles instead of a specialized digestive system. So they are lower organism. They don't have any kind of such specialized digestive system.